Welcome, everybody. This is using LinkedIn to close high-value clients. And LinkedIn is like changing. Almost every time I log in, I seem to see subtle little differences. They don't seem to release a lot of big updates like Google does. Google will release these huge updates. LinkedIn's rolling out all these new features and tools, and it's really making it a lot more interactive and a lot easier to use. So I figured it's time for a webinar to kind of go through this, kind of for my sanity check too. So they have a lot of features that only premium members can see. A lot of them free members can. They kind of roll it out to premium members first now to give them priority, and then it trickles down to the free accounts. But I'll kind of show you a lot of these features and tools today and show you how to best use LinkedIn so you can use it just a few minutes a day and get really good results. So if you have any questions during the webinar, just type them in the question box and we'll see how it goes. I can pause during the presentation if there's not too many questions, or we'll just do a big Q&A session at the end. We'll just kind of see how it goes. So I'm the author of Ultimate Guide to LinkedIn for Business and Ultimate Guide to Twitter for Business from Entrepreneur Press. And if you purchased the books, thank you very much. And in March of 2016, the second edition of the Ultimate Guide to LinkedIn for Business is coming out from Entrepreneur Press. So if you just recently bought the first edition from me through my website for $9.99, I'll be giving a special deal when this new book comes out in March. It's supposed to come out second or third week of March. It's off to the editors right now, so it's really exciting. I spent the last 3 months working on that, so it's great to be done with that. So you can find me on entrepreneur.com or in the magazine. I have lots of articles and blog posts. And one of the benefits of being on LinkedIn and having your profile optimized is people actually find you and contact you. And last year, a reporter from the New York Times contacted me. And he was pretty excited about that he found me on LinkedIn and actually wrote a LinkedIn book. And he was writing an article about get a job using LinkedIn. So he interviewed me and I got to contribute to this article in the New York Times. Another benefit of being on LinkedIn, I was found by a producer at CNBC. He saw that I wrote the Ultimate Guide to Twitter for Business, and he interviewed me for this documentary they did. And talked about Twitter advertising. So they found me on LinkedIn. It led them to entrepreneur.com because I have a lot of links in there posting to some of my articles. And I was actually interviewing a contributor to this documentary on CNBC. So today we're going to try to wrap this up, try to keep it to 60 minutes because I know we're all busy. So basically I'm going to take you through the LinkedIn opportunities. I talked to so many people that said they're on LinkedIn, they don't see any value. I ran into a friend at the grocery store a couple weeks ago and he said, I'm on LinkedIn and I connect with people and then nothing happens. And I said, well, do you ever reach out to people after that? It's kind of like I sent my email the other day. You go meet someone, they give you your business card. If you just put it in your drawer, of course nothing's going to happen. You need to take action and connect with that person and have a conversation with them and keep in touch with them. So I'm going to go through, show you all the different, how LinkedIn is really taking off and becoming really a trusted site. Then I'm going to take you through a lot of the LinkedIn tools that help you really connect with your target audience. Before, you just posted your resume and you never came back to LinkedIn, but now they're making it much more interactive and it's really a powerful site. And you can connect with your target audience much easier than before. Then I'll show you how you can measure your LinkedIn activity because there are lots of new tools. They're only for premium members now. They give you a little taste of it with the free accounts, but I'll show you why you really need to have a premium account. It's really not that much. They have them for, I think, $20 a month now even. And then we're going to show you how to engage your target audience so they know, like, and trust you as an authority, and some amazing stories I'm going to show you throughout this. It's really exciting to see people just like you and me that are not celebrities or big industry leaders that are getting lots of traction using LinkedIn. So we have a bonus today too. Near the end of today's presentation, 3 people have the opportunity to get a LinkedIn profile makeover valued at $9.97. That's what I charge my clients to do some profile makeovers and some one-on-one consulting. So pay attention because you're going to have to answer a couple questions from today's presentation. They're not going to be hard questions, but they'll be based on the content. So here's just some of the opportunity. LinkedIn releases these stats about once a quarter. The last one, they said they passed 300 million members. Unofficially, I've seen 219 million or 319 million members. And they're not as active as they are on Facebook, where over half the people on Facebook log in every day. LinkedIn users, some people that get it log in every day, but the average user only logs in for 19 minutes a month. And they're missing out on this huge opportunity. So they're adding 2 new members every second. There's executives from every Fortune 500 company. Literally probably every company that exists is on LinkedIn now. 53% of business-to-business marketers have acquired a customer through LinkedIn. And this is from about a year ago, this stat from HubSpot. So I'm sure it's much higher now. Because people are really starting to figure out the value of LinkedIn. 83% of online business-to-business marketers use LinkedIn. So if you say you don't have time to finish your LinkedIn profile, or you don't have time to use LinkedIn, 83% of online marketers are using it right now, compared to 53% using business-to-consumer marketing. 65% of journalists use information on LinkedIn as research material, so it's becoming a really trusted authority site on the internet. This is another thing why you have to complete your profile and really let people know how you can help them. 77% of LinkedIn members use the site to research people and companies. So before someone meets with you, there's a good chance they're going to look at your LinkedIn profile to find out more about you. And I bet you've done that a lot, looking at other people's profiles and their companies to learn more about them. 88% of employers are using LinkedIn to recruit right now. It's become the place to go if you're looking for a job or you're trying to hire really good talent. 9 out of 10 C-level executives use LinkedIn at least once a week. And this is what's in Forbes magazine. I couldn't believe this when I read this a few months ago. But here's even more proof of the C-level executives are getting it and they see the value in LinkedIn. 75% of B2B buyers and 84% of C-level executives use social media when making purchasing decisions. So 84% of C-level and VP executives look at social media before they make a major purchase. That just blew me away when I said, and this is from IDC. It's a social buying study from February of 2014. So the C-level people are using this social media, whether you believe it or not. They say they don't have time to use it, but obviously they are using it or they're having their staff use it and report to them. Over half of business-to-business buyers use LinkedIn to support their purchase process during the past year. It's 56% in the overall study and 63% for the C-level executives. So, you know, they say they're not using it, but here's proof that they are using it. And frequent purchasers are more likely to use social media. I don't know about you, but I love to have frequent purchasers be my customers because they come back and buy over and over and over again. So if you're using social media, they're more likely to find those buyers and get them into your sales funnel. And then professional networks, really buyers, if you're going to go to find a new dentist for a new CPA, what do you do usually? You go ask your friends for a recommendation. You don't go research it online. If you're going to go find a new dentist or a new accountant, you want to hear it from somebody they've had a good experience from these people. So this 76% of the people in the survey said they prefer to work with vendors who have been recommended by somebody they know. And they prefer to work with sales professionals who have been referred by someone else. I mean, who are your best customers? They're people that have been word-of-mouth referrals. So really, LinkedIn has become the place for these networks to form, and you can, instead of just talking to your friends, now you have literally over 300 million people at your fingertips that have the expertise you're looking for and can recommend them. And here's what LinkedIn features do you use when purchasing in the past 12 months. They research vendors by looking at their profiles, just like I said. You may not think people use LinkedIn, but they are looking at your profile, and I'll show you later in this presentation how you can see exactly who's looking at it and if they're your target audience or not, how to connect with them. But You also should have a company page on LinkedIn, because that is really, they're making a big push for the company pages right now. So it's a really good way to get your company on there and show your products and services, and plus recruit the best talent. So LinkedIn really comes down to, there's two goals for LinkedIn. It can boil it down to be this simple. You're trying to find your ideal prospects by using the search functions and networking with people, or you want to be found by these ideal prospects. And there's lots of other uses for LinkedIn, but really it boils down to, you want to be found and you want to find people. It's that simple. And if you go with that approach, it makes it so much easier. So finding your target audience. This is the first step, really. You can just, a lot of these tools have been around, but they keep enhancing them. There's the advanced people search. You can search groups and companies also. But when you're looking for people, there's over 300 million members on LinkedIn, and it's become so trusted. People, it's like your resume. If you lie in a resume, eventually you get caught. If you lie in your LinkedIn profile, there's a good chance eventually it'll catch up with you. So people really trust the information they're seeing on LinkedIn. Obviously, there's those fake spam accounts, but that's a very small minority. LinkedIn's getting better and better about weeding them out. But by using this, searching for keywords or job titles, and this, they keep enhancing all the features of this. And if you notice on the right side, you can search in the yellow, groups, years of experience, function, seniority level. So all those are premium features if they have the yellow icon. So the more money you pay basically to LinkedIn, the more data they show you about these people. And people are putting lots of real good information on there, a lot of demographic information that helps you find the right people. So really it's worth upgrading to the premium accounts. And depending on your use, you know, you can pay a lot of money or just a few dollars a week, and you get tremendous search results. So this is something to keep enhancing, and each different level, there's sales, there's recruiting, and I'll show you the Sales Navigator function in a bit here, but you can really dig deep and find really good prospects through these search functions. So another way they do it is the people you may know. You see it on the sidebar when you're looking at your home page on LinkedIn, and this comes from the LinkedIn algorithm. So they go through your profile, they look at where you live, where you work, what company you work for, what industry, your skills. It just scans through your profile, and it recommends people through their algorithm that are similar to you or you may want to do business with. So LinkedIn does all the heavy lifting here. It just, you want to connect with these people most of the time. You can check out their profiles, but LinkedIn algorithm is getting smarter and smarter over time, and it's recommending the right people for you to build your network with. So also when you get connection requests, you'll see this, where I have one outstanding invitation here, and it also says people you may know that are related to this. So based on where I live, my industry, who I'm connected with, all these things are factored into the algorithm, and it's saying you may want to connect with these people based on your past experience. So here's something very few people do this. It's kind of mind-boggling to me, but I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn, so I'm kind of the exception. But here's Mitchell Levy, and we're connected, and we have a lot in common. We have 89 shared connections. And right next to that, there's a little link called Similar. So what they've done is, based on Mitchell's profile in his network and my profile in my network, it's recommending similar people to Mitchell, to me, that they think I should connect with. So here, 99 results, people similar to Mitchell. I'm connected to Robin Frank, so I can send her a message. Or Courtney B, I can send her an email because she's got her profile pretty locked down, it seems, or she's a third level connection. Sometimes third level you can connect directly, but we can get into that later. And Melissa Wilson, she's a second level connection, or in my second level network. We have 48 shared connections according to this. So I may want to connect with her because we have a lot in common based on we're both authors. We have a lot of shared connections. So what I would do is explore her profile and see if she'd be a fit for my network. Again, this is LinkedIn doing all the heavy lifting. They're just telling me, making me a suggestion based on my profile and hers. So here's the Sales Navigator, and I just signed up for it a few weeks ago, and I've been busy writing the book, so I haven't played with it that much, but this is an incredible tool. It takes the advanced search to a whole new level. Because what you can do is target accounts and companies, and as you sign up for them, it automatically tells you when they're sharing updates. So instantly you get notified, and you can be one of the first or second people to comment or like or share their content. And a good way to really build those relationships is to really share other people's content, and you build a relationship because say, oh, Ted keeps sharing my content. We must have something in common. And a lot of times they'll reach out to you if you're not connected, or it makes it easier for you to reach out to them. The Sales Navigator is less than $800 for the entire year if you pay the annual for the lower level. And when you think about it, if you really are serious about your business and you don't want to spend $800 a year to find the right people, I mean, LinkedIn actually recommends leads to you based on your performance, all your activity on LinkedIn. It'll send me an email and say, here's 10 new people that you may want to connect with to do business with. So it takes the algorithm to a whole new level. And it's so worth $800. I think $780 a year it works out to be if you pay annually. So check out Sales Navigator if you're serious about prospecting on LinkedIn. I could do a whole webinar on the Sales Navigator, which I probably will do in the future. So is that helpful? Is that anybody see any value in that? And how to use the search and let them do the work for you and just connect with it. So I highly recommend spend a couple hours a week on LinkedIn playing with just the advanced search and start looking for your target audience. And you'll be amazed the results you get. So the Who's Viewed Your Profile, this is a tool that's been around. Oh, okay, I'll take a couple questions here. Miko says, can I give an example of how I've used it? Well, basically, like this, I just started using the Sales Navigator, so I haven't done a whole lot with that. But with the advanced search, and that's people similar to, I'll go through that, and I'll just look at their profiles and see if it's a connection request. It's like, this person is perfect for my network, or they're not. And if people don't put their profile picture on, or they don't complete their profile, or it looks like they're not active on LinkedIn, most of the time I won't bother connecting with them, reaching out to them, because you do only get 3,000 connection requests with LinkedIn, which most people don't know. It's a lot of connection requests, and it's really hard to go over that limit. But if you do, there's ways you can get more. But you really want to just connect with the right people. I go with the theory, I would rather have a small network of targeted people than go wide. If I'm a recruiter, I want to connect with 10 or 20,000 people on LinkedIn. I definitely want to do that because I want to have a wide net cast out there. But I'm only looking for a few clients at a time. I'm not trying to grow a huge business, so I like to keep it small. It keeps the noise down. So that's part of the things you have to decide when you're planning your LinkedIn strategy. Do you want to go very narrow and deep, or do you want to go wide and cast a very wide net? So Chris asks, how do you offer products or services without being salesy? That's a good one, Chris, because as I expand my network, I'm starting to get more and more emails from people where I actually had somebody call me recently. I connected with this person, and literally a minute later, my phone rang, and this person is trying to sell me LinkedIn consulting services. And I was like, really? Did you look at my profile? I'm a LinkedIn author. And she goes, oh, well, you want to hire us? And I said, you don't get it. And then she put her boss on the line, and this boss is trying to sell me their services. Then he's trying to get me to send him referrals of my customer. Like, and finally, after the third time, the boss called back. I said, please don't call me anymore. I'm just not going to do business with you. So some people are trying to get very aggressive. What I like to do is just send a personal message when I connect with people and say, hey, if I can help you in any way, I'm trying, this is how people I'm connected with. And if you have your ideal client, tell me who your ideal client is, and I can refer them to you if it's a fit for you. So I go from the perspective of giving rather than trying to take. I don't try to sell people on the first touch. I like to build that relationship because I find if I spend time building long-term relationships, I get repeat customers and better customers. I can do the one-time sales, but you just don't get long-term customers. So let's move on to the who's viewed your profile. And this has been around, but now what they've done with the premium accounts, they're giving you more information. The more you pay, the more you get information. That's a good business model for them, but you get a little summary in your sidebar. It says who's viewed your profile. I was just on vacation for 10 days and I didn't do much at all on LinkedIn. And you see my profile views have dropped significantly. It's only 9 people in the last 3 days, and usually I have quite a few more than that. But one way to keep that profile view is up. I usually have like blog posts queued up in Hootsuite. So there's always something posting on LinkedIn once a day or twice a day. And that gets people to look at your profile automatically. But those kind of ran out, and I was on vacation. I said, you know, I'll just take care of it when I get back. It also tells you how your profile views rank according to a couple different factors. So here's you get weekly trends of who's viewed your profile, and then the other half of it is how you rank for your profile views. So here's how my trend is, and I've been really busy writing the book and doing a lot of classes, so I haven't focused enough. You see, when I'm not posting or interacting on LinkedIn, it drops off significantly. Then I get active and it slowly trickles up, and then I take a break, it drops off. So the more active you are on LinkedIn, it's just amazing. Think of your profile as your website. The more traffic you drive to your website, the more business you get. So the more people you drive to your LinkedIn profile, the more business you're going to get, more profile views. And if you're really clear how you can help people in your profile, it's like driving people to your homepage. So your objective is always get people to want to look at your profile. And you see what happens here. I've just fallen off the cliff here because I've been too busy finishing up my book. So here's how you rank among professionals like you. So it takes 100 people on LinkedIn that you don't have to be connected with, but it ranks you based on your industry and all those factors in the algorithm. So I'm in the top 14% among profile professionals like me. I'm 15 out of 100, and I dropped off only 2% in 7 days when I was on vacation, so that's not bad. But it's really good because you can see who your competition is, who LinkedIn thinks your competition is. So you can kind of follow them, connect with them, and follow them and see what they're doing. So here's some of the professionals that follow like you, and I noticed these 4 people have tons and tons of content queued up in Hootsuite or one of those automated tools, because I know Kat Ford posts about every 10 minutes throughout the day on LinkedIn. It seems like 10 to 15 minutes. There's a new post, and she puts quotes out there and just little messages and then a little 250 by 250 square banner with that same quote on it. And that seems to get a lot of interaction. Oh, somebody's asking me if my book coming out in 2016 or 2015. 2015, I skipped a year there. It's actually coming out in about 6 months. It's at the editor right now. So kind of follow people. When LinkedIn recommends people like this or puts them in your same, connect with them and see what you have similar, see what patterns they're having. She's obviously Kat and Kimberly. They're getting tons and tons of profile views. So that's what you want to do, is do what they're doing to get the profile views, but don't be spammy about it. I really don't like the spam approach. And there's other people like Regina Floyd. I've reached out to her a few times to connect with her, and I don't know if it's a fake profile or not because she never responds. And I don't see her posting that much content. So I'm kind of leery that it may be one of those fake profiles that somebody is just using, but I'm not positive. It's kind of interesting to follow. So here's how you rank among your connections. So this only looks at, I just have about a little over 3,000 connections, and I'm in the top 8% of profile views. So this is telling me where I rank in my network and in my industry, basically. See, Dave Kerpen, he's a LinkedIn influencer, so he gets lots of profile views, and I actually interviewed him for my new version of the book because he's a true LinkedIn success story where he just started posting. He got on LinkedIn right at the beginning, and he saw the value, and he just started posting content in his status updates, And then he was invited to become a LinkedIn influencer when they released that program last year. So now he's grown this huge agency in New York City for local search engine optimization and local social media support. So there's lots of great success stories like that just by being consistent on LinkedIn. So here's one of the new features with the premium accounts. You get to see who viewed your profile. It tells you exactly the people who they are. And they made a nice change recently where it says connect, message, message, connect. If you're not connected, they used to have little icons and nobody could figure out what the icons were. So they changed it to words. So like if I want to connect with Lynette Potter, I can just click on that and send her a message. Or I'm connected with Andy. And here's a good example of your professional headlines. There's different approaches to that. I'd say at least 90% of people on LinkedIn use their job titles, which doesn't really, you get this little, it's like a headline or a tweet. You want to let people know how you can help them, where Lynette takes the approach, it's keyword based. So if she wants to be found under employee training or corporate coach, you can use the keyword approach there. But those are skills also. They show up in your profile as skills, so you're kind of repetitive. So what I like to do, I helped Andy create his, and he creates like his USP. How does he help people? So people see his little profile and they say, delivering attorneys peace of mind through outsourced bookkeeping and Xero. He's a reseller for Xero software. So they work with attorneys to help them with their accounting, outsource their accounting. So people know exactly how they can help them. And then Matthew, he has his job title and his company. And Steve just kind of says what he does, kind of how, not really how he helps people, but that's what he does. He's branding and reputation marketing. So you see the different approaches you can have for your professional headline. But you're going to show up all over LinkedIn. They're going to show your picture, your name, and this little professional headline. So that's really where you catch people's attention to generate the profile views. So LinkedIn is also giving you tips to increase profile views. So they're saying I should join this group. And the groups aren't always good. These are peer groups. And at first I joined a bunch of peer groups, which are really my competitors. So really you want to join groups where your prospects are. So now I'm shifting to a bunch of different groups and it's working out much better. You get much more results from that rather than hanging out with your peers. It's good to hang out with your peers and some to keep up with like SEO or what's going on LinkedIn, but you want to hang out where your prospects are. Then it's telling me to follow Adobe and update your summary. And then it's saying follow Carlos if I'm in the automotive industry, which I'm not. But you know, they aren't all perfect, but they're trying to increase interaction on LinkedIn, and they're doing a good job. So is that anything helpful there? Any questions on the who viewed your profile section? There's just so much. Cedric wants to know, is there a prime time to post on LinkedIn to get the most views? And it's obviously you got to test it and see. But what I've done, I have a lot of content in Hootsuite that goes off. I try to do only twice a day, but based on seeing these profile views, I'm going to try to do more without spamming people. But you just keep, people log on different times a day. Usually early morning when they first get to work, they may log on, or late in the day. And then by mistake, I sent out some content on a Saturday once, a Saturday morning, and that got the most views of anything I ever sent out. So there's a lot of people that are working on Saturday morning, but they're not in meetings, they're not tied up, so you want to test those Saturday mornings. LD wants to know, do free accounts get the same info who sees the profile? No, they don't. That's one of the changes they've made. So you can go with the cheapest business account. And I think they have done one under $15 a month or $19 a month now, where you get that information. I had the business account, the basic business account, which was $29 a month, and that showed me all the stats you're seeing now, which is really valuable information. And Tom says he follows up with everyone who views the profile in a very short message. That's a great tactic. I do the same thing, Tom. And another trick on the flip side of that is if you want to connect with somebody, view their profile a few times and they see that you're viewing it and probably more than half the time they'll reach out and connect with you. So it's kind of a trick on the opposite side of that. And LD wants to know about improving your profile. I'll show you some of the tricks throughout this presentation, and that's things we cover in my classes. Where I think profiles are the key to your success on LinkedIn, where some LinkedIn experts say, oh, your profile's okay, but focus on sending messages to people or focus on connecting with people. But if your profile is not in order, it's like your homepage. If you have a half-finished website for your business, who wants to do business with them? And then Theo wants to know, you're tracking clicks through posts and groups and other links. You can track those, and I'll show you some screenshots here in a minute that they're showing you more and more information about where your profile views are coming from, what keywords people searched. So it's pretty amazing what they have. And basically, it's kind of frustrating because they were showing a lot of information and they scaled it back. And they're redoing their interface like weekly, it seems like lately, kind of settle on what's best without overwhelming us. So we'll show you some of those. So who's viewed your updates? So here's one I did a few weeks ago. And literally I just shared, I commented on, a friend of mine, Mickey Kennedy, does press releases. He owns a company, ereleases.com. So what I did, Mickey posted a blog post that had tips to get your press releases read. So I just made this silly little comment. I was just to see what happened. It wasn't a real thoughtful comment. I recommend really saying a little more than this, but just in one day I got 218 views of this and one comment. And what happens is that the blue circle is my network. Then the next circle out is my second level network. So it's the people that are connected to my connections. And then there's the third level network. So this post didn't get as far as the third level, but I've had some go as far over 2,000 views. So here's one. I just posted a blog post. LinkedIn is trying to be more like Facebook. There's an article about how LinkedIn is trying to make their news feed more like Facebook's because it's so interactive. And this one had 1 like and 1 comment, and it got 93 views, and that was just in a couple days. So the cool thing is you can hover over these dots, and it tells you exactly who comments on your posts and who likes it. So when things go out into my second and third level network, I reach out to those people and say, hey, thanks for liking my content. And then what I'll do, I'll connect with them, and then I'll start commenting and liking their things. So it generates a lot more traffic. Now here's something that's just ridiculous. We all see those quotes every day, the personal development quotes. Someone shared a Zig Ziglar quote, and it was just on a little banner. And I like Zig Ziglar. I loved it, so I commented on it, and I shared it. And I had 936 views and 31 likes. And see, it went all the way to my third level network. And by the time this one finished, I can't find the screenshot. It had over 3,000 total views, and over 1,500 were from the third level network, which is 2 steps away from me. So what I did, I went out to all those people that commented and liked it and shared it, and I sent them a little message, said, hey, thanks for liking my content or sharing it. And then we connected with a lot of those people. So it's a great way, just sharing, liking, and commenting on other people's content helps build your network and build relationships. And it literally takes, I spend about 15 minutes a day commenting on people's. So let's take a few questions here. I see we got some. Clear a few out here. Okay, that's it. Cedric says, wow. Okay, so let's go to the Keep in Touch. This is a new feature they released sometime early this year. I have to start writing down the exact dates these come out because they're coming fast and furious. But Keep in Touch is where they just keep you top of mind with your clients and former clients. This really seems silly, but if you go to the Keep in Touch under the Connections tab, all these people get new jobs when you post. You can turn this off too so it doesn't broadcast every time you change your profile. But you say congratulations to Michael Reynolds because he has a new job. And don't just say, you can click and it just says congrats. Write something thoughtful there. And people will come back. Probably 2/3 of the people I congratulate thank me for congratulating them. It's just ridiculous. It seems really silly. But I heard from a friend of mine, he coaches financial advisors, and one of his clients congratulated someone on a new job. They hadn't spoken in like 10 years. He goes, I didn't know you were a financial advisor. He goes, yeah. So the guy transferred his account into this guy. He got like a $3 million account because he congratulated someone he hadn't talked to in 10 years. So it just gets you back top of mind with people. It only takes literally a few seconds. So another thing you can do, you can import your contacts from Gmail or Outlook, and then every time you have conversations with these people, it shows up on LinkedIn. So you know exactly, it'll say the messages you have, you can click on the message, so it keeps track. It's kind of like Salesforce, and this will integrate into Salesforce with the premium accounts. So it's really amazing how they're pulling all these tools together, so in one place. And that's their goal, is to get us to come to LinkedIn every day and spend a few hours like we spend on Facebook. So here's people that I've received emails from or emailed to, and it tells me exactly last time I kept in touch with them. And when you import your contacts here, so there's LinkedIn contacts, which are your contacts like from Salesforce or from Outlook that you've imported into Outlook or into LinkedIn. And then there's connections. So once you connect on LinkedIn, the little icon turns blue. Now, if these people I'm not connected to on LinkedIn, it would be gray, telling me I need to connect with them. But then once they're in here as contacts, I can filter them by company name, by tag, location, title, source. So if I'm doing a workshop in San Francisco, a LinkedIn workshop, I can look at all my contacts that are in the San Francisco area, and I can send them a message through LinkedIn that I'm having this workshop. But here's my favorite, is the tagging. And LinkedIn doesn't even tell you much about a lot of these features. You just kind of dig and find them, but you tag all these people after you connect with them. So you can create your own tags. They give you a few sample tags, but you create your own. So every contact you have, you can actually send specific emails to. So here, I've filtered mine by all the attorneys that I'm connected with. Now I can send them a message through LinkedIn. And there's an 80% open rate according to all these firms that do marketing on LinkedIn full time. They send thousands and thousands and thousands of messages. They say 80% of the time people will open the email eventually on LinkedIn. It may not be immediately, but within a couple days or a day or two even. And they trust people on LinkedIn. It's not like you send them an email to their home email. They may check it a month later. On LinkedIn, they connect to you. So I can say, hey, I'm doing a free webinar for attorneys, how to get more clients using LinkedIn. I can send them specifically to these people and invite them. So Joel says, how do you send the message? Just like this, Joel. You sort by your filters, your tags, select all, or you can pick who you want to send it to, click on message, and the LinkedIn message box pops up, and you just put your message in there and send it. They've made it so easy. So anybody learn anything good there they can use? That was just, there's so many of these features that they don't tell you about on LinkedIn, and you just kind of learn them, or I figure them out. I connect with a lot of people that teach LinkedIn too, so we all share information. So there's just so much information coming at us. It's just amazing. That's why people don't get how powerful LinkedIn is, because LinkedIn's not doing a really good job about teaching us too. That whole tagging and messaging feature, that's a gold mine for people in business, because it's really hard to get people to open your emails anymore or even get them delivered. So if you can connect with people directly on LinkedIn, it's like having a private chat window with them almost. So really, LinkedIn, they need to do a lot of work on telling us all the tools they have, and they got to maybe slow down on rolling out too many features at once and making it more of a big event. Like Google says, here's what we're doing. They don't actually tell you what happened, but this is what's coming. So another feature they've rolled out, and they've really been stressing this in the last 6 months to a year, is Find Alumni feature. It's under the Connections tab. So this is like amazing information here. So I went to the University of Pittsburgh. It tells me there's over 111,000 people that went to Pitt from 1900 to 2014. It tells me who I'm connected to. It tells me where they live exactly, how many, where they work. So if I'm trying to get into an account PNC Bank back east or BNY Mellon, I have 712 people that work at PNC right now, or 472 at BNY. Or if I want to get into the education market, there's 10,000 people that I'm an alumni of with. I could reach out to all these people and say, hey, I went to Pitt. Could you help me introduce me to somebody that's in the education market so you can get new clients that way? To see, here's those icons I was talking about earlier. So if there's a little envelope there, I can email because we're already connected. And if there's a little person with a plus, I can click on that and send a connection request. But here's some more information they give you, what their degrees are in, what their skills at. So I work with a lot of public speakers. So what I can do is go to this, and there's over 10,000 public speakers. They have public speaking in their profile. So if I'm trying to work with them to get more business, I work with a lot of speakers to help them get more business. There's almost 11,000 people that went to Pitt that I could possibly connect with, very easily connect with them and get new clients. And then there's the Notables tab. So if you really want to go to the top, these are people that are really, so if I wanted to get in at Siemens, I could contact Tom Haas. And when you connect with somebody that you went to school with and reach out to them, obviously more times than not, they are going to answer your connection request or your email. So if I wanted to get into Siemens, he's the CMO there, there's a big foot in the door right there. And it also tells you other notable alumni in the area of where I went to school. So LinkedIn sees a lot of value in this because of the whole connections of alumni. Then they're taking it a whole nother level where they're actually starting, when you're in high school, they're encouraging high school kids to start filling out their LinkedIn profile, so when they apply to college, the colleges can look at their LinkedIn profile and see all their accomplishments. And my son just graduated from Cal Poly in June, and he started a job in August at Cisco, and he's getting contacted all the time by recruiters because he filled out his LinkedIn profile, and he is in demand right now. And you keep hearing these stories, kids can't find jobs when they come out of school. If you're on LinkedIn, recruiters are going to find you, and they want to place you in jobs. So LinkedIn sees the connection of this. So they're trying to get people from high school in and then help employers connect with these people even while they're in college and start getting them ready to come to the workforce. Pretty amazing stuff. So I see one question here from Michael. Are LinkedIn mass messages personalized for each recipient? You can customize the message to the distribution list. It's like sending to a distribution list. So there's one message that goes to that group. So you can customize it, but it won't be very personal. Any other questions on that? LinkedIn Pulse. That's another one. That's used to be called LinkedIn Today. And they bought the Pulse app that was on the iPad. So it's basically a news feed. You can customize your news feeds and have custom content that you can share easily. So what I do, I'll go on there in the morning, see what's going on in my industry or with the business world, and start sharing that content on LinkedIn. So here you can customize your own news. Here's the top posts of the day, and you can filter by today, weekly, or all time. So this is really valuable, because if you notice at the bottom, Jeff Hayden's an influencer. He posted this on September 16th. Over 308,000 people have seen it since then. This was taken yesterday too, this screenshot. 1,488 people have liked it, and 359 people commented. So the value in this, if you follow Jeff and you are one of the first people to comment or like it, all those other people potentially could see your comment on there. So if you get in there in the first 1,000 people, over 300,000 people could potentially see your comment. If you do thoughtful comments, people start following you. And the best thing is you can look exactly, see who commented and who liked on his articles. So here I looked who liked it. I see Catherine Bach, and you just hover over it and it lets you connect directly. So I say, okay, she's a career coach. I work with a lot of coaches. I'm a coach myself. So let me connect with her. So I clicked on the connect and I picked the group, and we're in the Harvard Business Review group together. And I just wrote this. This is limited text you can put in here. So you have to be kind of brief. And it's better to be brief. But I said, I noticed you liked Jeff Hayden's article. I thought it was great too. Let's connect. I would have wrote a little more, but you kind of run out of characters pretty quickly. But it has to be short and sweet. And so we have two things in common here. Harvard Business Review, and we both liked this article. So she connected within like 5 minutes after I sent this yesterday. So it's a really good way to connect with like-minded people just by looking who's commenting on these really popular posts and jumping in quickly when they post in the mornings. So then here you can discover, these are people LinkedIn based on the algorithm, people you should start following. Has industry leaders. These were the first people that were LinkedIn influencers. So you want to follow people you like. They're always adding new people here. So it gives you good content you can share with your network, and it kind of shows who you like to follow. It lets people get to know what kind of person you are. You can do channels. Notice leadership and management is always the highest. It's over almost 8 million followers for that. So you follow that content and you'll get leadership material. And you can get publications. So this is always changing too. It's just a great way in a snapshot, get really good content you can share and comment on. So why comment on these popular articles? This is Dave Kerpen again. He had the most popular post. And remember I said leadership was a really popular topic on LinkedIn. 11 simple concepts to become a leader, better leader. It has over almost 2.7 million views. It was posted in January of 2013. So if you were one of the first people to comment on that, over 2 million people, almost 3 million people may have seen your comment. It's not, they're all going to see it, but some will. And they're going to think, oh, I see Ted's comments all the time. I'm going to start following him. And it builds that connection with them. Or 26,000 people liked it. So again, you could look at all the people, the 7,489 people that commented, and reach out and connect with those people because they liked or commented on this article that you liked. And this thread is still active. Here's some posts from 8 days ago and 16 days ago. So there it is. So it's almost 27,000 people liked it that you could reach out to, or the 7,500 people that wrote comments. So you can actually scroll through that list or have your assistant scroll through the list and find the right people you want to connect to. Don't connect with everybody, obviously, but the ones that are in your target market, connect with them. You have something in common already. So LinkedIn Publisher. So we used to be able to just do status updates. And does everybody have the publisher option yet? You see the little paperclip is the status update. We can attach images and content. And if you have the pencil, you can do full posts, like a blog post. So you'll have a window like this where you can create multimedia. You can add YouTube videos. You can add images. It's just like a regular little, your own personal blog on LinkedIn. And this is great because it really lets you share information. What I like to do is look at all that content that's out there that's getting a lot of views and a lot of comments, and use similar headlines and use similar type content because you know that's stuff people are interested in. So this is Kathy Caprino, and she's a career success coach. She's not a LinkedIn influencer because we don't see the little icon there. She posted this on September 15th, and over 1 million people have viewed it already. And she's just like you and me. She's not a celebrity or a very famous person. But look at the following she's built on LinkedIn. Over 2,000 comments. So if you're a coach or in that industry or want to do business for that industry, you follow Kathy, follow these kind of people that are getting a lot of traction, and do what they're doing and connect with the people that are following them, because that's telling me there's over 1 million people that are interested in coaching or things about work related. So look at all of our other posts and see what's in common and just keep doing it. So look, we recap here. We talked about that LinkedIn opportunity. There's just, most people don't get it yet. So it's a great time to jump in and become a LinkedIn expert. There's lots of new tools that really help you find your target audience, because the search engine is incredibly powerful. So just spend some time with that advanced search and Sales Navigator or some of the premium tools. I showed how to measure that LinkedIn activity, because you can see what's working. I can see what kind of posts that I'm posting are getting traction and which aren't. So I don't waste my time posting content that people aren't responding to. I can just focus on posting content I know is going to get a lot of shares and likes. And then I showed how to engage your audience so they get to know, like, and trust you as authority. And if you just take that approach of helping other people on LinkedIn, I find that works much better than becoming a spammer and aggressively marketing to them. That just turns people off. And that's one of the big things. Like, they turned off LinkedIn Answers a couple years ago. People were just self-promoting and blasting away. It's better to just take time, build long-term relationships, and it goes on and on and on for years, rather than you might get a client now and then by spamming them. But build those relationships. Get repeat customers. So you ready for more? So I'm doing the LinkedIn Jumpstart. This is the class I do. I normally would do this over 5 weeks. We meet once. We used to be once a week, but it's going to be 5 straight days. And we're going to go through, first one is create your LinkedIn strategy. And that's, most people don't have a strategy for LinkedIn, so that's why they waste time or don't go there and see results. If you create a really clear objective why you're on LinkedIn, what you're going to do each day, you can get really good results in 15 to 20 minutes a day. And then we build your foundation, which is optimizing that profile. We spend a lot of time on that, identifying who your audience is, who you want to connect to. And then we focus on building that network, how you reach out to those people and build relationships, and then how you can use the publishing, become an industry authority, and get traction like Kathy. Get 1 million people to view your post in a couple days. That would be ultimate. And then the last day we do advanced LinkedIn strategies, where we can do how to do the advanced networking processing, like with the Sales Navigator or these other tools, advanced search, how you can get people to actually call you. You know, Joel's on the call, Joel Helfer, and he's getting really good at getting people to call him. And that's the best way to close people with LinkedIn. You don't sell, you don't put ads out there and get people to buy your products. It's all about building that relationship, getting them to call you, get on the phone with them, and then you build this long-term relationship. And LinkedIn has lots of, Ron said there's great mobile apps too, which we cover, where you can get from your mobile phone or your iPad, you can do it. And Dave Kirpin says he spends 90% of his time on LinkedIn on his phone doing all this activity, except for his posts. So there's so much to go, and we just go through this. It's kind of like the fire hose approach, but we have a lot of Q&A sessions. The sessions are like an hour to hour and a half long, and you get homework every night. And then we'll get together afterwards too for recaps, because it is literally, so figure each session will be 60 minutes of learning and 30 to 60 minutes of Q&A afterwards. And then we'll do a big Q&A session at the end of it all, because it is like a fire hose. And it's a fast moving, but people didn't want to wait 5 weeks for the whole course. I used to charge $497 for the 5-week course, and lots of people took it. They loved it, got good results, but they said, I want to go faster and faster. So the Jumpstart gets you going in literally a week, and then we'll follow up after that and make sure everything is going. So I'm doing it for only $97 instead of $497, because my goal is to train 10,000 people on LinkedIn before the end of next year. That's kind of this new goal I have. I want to help as many people as possible, because so many people just think, oh, LinkedIn's not for me. I'm not getting results. And you can just turn your whole business around literally in a couple weeks through this. So, okay, time for the bonus time. first person answer trivia questions. So just type it in the question box. And the first person, it'll be 3 questions. And the first person for each one will win the profile makeover. That's worth $997. So ready? These are tough questions now. How many LinkedIn members were there in June 2014? Okay, Tom won. Tom got that one. So, next question. What section of LinkedIn contains content and customizable news feeds? Joel Helfer. And Ashley was second. Okay, the third and final. What is one tool that helps you measure your LinkedIn effectiveness? Ashley got it. Rank. So who viewed your profile, where you rank, all those tools. So that's good. Great. So I'll get in touch with the 3 of you and we'll schedule your sessions. And again, if you want to do the LinkedIn Jumpstart, it's October 13th through 17th. I'll be recording everything. And it says tedprodromo.com/jumpstart. You're going to get a lot of information. Everything's recorded, so we can go over it afterwards. You can watch it as many times as you want. And I'll be there to answer all your questions, even after the 5 days. I won't leave you hanging, just blast you with the fire hose of information. So if you have any more questions, we still have a few more minutes. If you have any more questions, we can take care of them. How many people spend more than 10 or 15 minutes a week on LinkedIn? If you just kind of take that. Oh, Jan, the Jumpstart will be 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So Tom's using it. Joel does. We know Joel does. And Theo. It's amazing. The more you use it, the more profiles you get. And Joel's been posting a lot of content and reaching out to people a lot. And his profile views are skyrocketed. So the more active you are, and it can be just queued up content even, which I'll do some, and then I'll interact manually too to complement that. Don't just blast content automatically. You need to interact and reach out to people. So any more questions? I'd love to have you join the class. It's October 13th. It's 10 a.m. Pacific, and we go for anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes or 2 hours if you have questions. And we'll do that 5 days in a row, and then we'll follow up with sessions afterwards. Tom wants to know, is posting in groups, is that effective? From my perspective, if you add value to the group and start conversations, yes. Most of the group conversations are people just posting their blog posts there. They're just blasting content without any thought. So a good trick is to go to the groups and see what posts are getting a lot of comments and interaction and create that kind of content. Because 90% of them will get no comments and no response, where there'll be a few, and find groups that have a lot of interaction too. And then create that similar content. So see what's working for other people and do what they're doing. It's pretty easy when you do that way. Any other questions? Thank you, Larry. Larry enjoyed it. He learned a lot. Yeah, I hope you got a lot out of this. This was kind of like a mini fire hose. It's a lot of information. And this is like the tip of the iceberg. I just get so excited about this stuff because it really works really well. Well, thank you, everybody. I'll post the recording. You can watch it again, and I'd love to have you join us. It's tedprodromo.com/jumpstart. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, too. Ted@tedprodromo.com. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.